Hello.
Alright, so it'll take about well, it doesn't matter. The viewers, when they join, they'll join. So we'll just go ahead and get started now.
Shall I can announce it on the Discord maybe?
Yeah. Let me turn down the...
Do that. Oh, game's freezing.
There we go. Can you check on stream if the music is loud enough?
Yeah, let me see. It's really quiet right now for me.
Okay. Okay, let that cycle through and then tell me what you think about that. And then I'll just talk and see if it's overpowering our voices. Blah, 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 blah. Hello. How you doing?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So,
that's better.
yeah. For anyone that's joining, we're going to be doing a showcase of Ardacraft here today. Going to be checking out some really awesome stuff here around Forlond. I keep saying Forlond. I don't know why I say Forlond. It's Forlond.
Forlond, that's correct.
Okay, so it's a ruined city. So on our way up here, is there any like lore behind Forlond that doesn't particularly relate to the architecture, but more of the history of the area that we're in today?
Yeah, so, I mean, Forlond is one of these places where Tolkien, I think I mentioned this in previous videos and stuff, but it's one of these places where Tolkien's kind of just put a dot on the map and left it there, really. We know the history of Lindon. We know that this was an elven kingdom that kind of slowly declined over thousands of years after their king died in the army of the Last Alliance. And, you know, they're all slowly disappearing, going off into the west and sailing away, never to come back. And we know that Forlond, and Forlond in general, was the home of the Noldor elves. The Noldor elves were like the high elves of Middle-earth. They were the kind of the most warlike, the best smiths, the most sort of the guys who kind of conquered and played a big part in Middle-earth's history. Galadriel was Noldor, Elrond was a Noldor, and Gil-galad, who was the king of Lindon, was also a Noldor elf. And his city was Forlond. However, Forlond has, as you can tell, degraded a great deal. A lot of the elves who once lived here died in that battle that you see at the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring. And a lot of the rest have sort of slowly left and gone into the west. So the city is still partially inhabited, but it's about 10% of what it once was in terms of the population.
Wow. So in terms of architectural style, do you guys take any particular inspiration from anything, or did you develop this more from a troubleshooting method, just kind of coming up with a style that looks best for this? Like, is there anything in the real world that you have found that inspired you to build this construction here?
Well, it's kind of, to me, Forlond kind of feels like a mix between classical architecture and then a more sort of traditional, you could say, elven architecture. You know, the feeling that you get for a classic elven house. So it uses a lot of white marble, these red roofs, which is quite sort of classical Roman in its look. But the shape, the form is elven, and I think that works quite well. It makes it feel old and kind of, I don't know, but still it's got that elven touch to it, I guess. So
just to get a kind of a baseline, about how many years has Forlond been in decline?
Well, the king died at the end of the Second Age, and it has now been just over 3,000 years since then.
Wow,
so,
3,000 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So in decline, that means like that's just when they started leaving and such, correct? Like
that's
ever
correct.
Since
Yeah.
the Last Alliance and the whole war, and then the king died. Okay, I got you there. So is there any particular buildings of note? I've also noticed that there are several buildings that are completely, you know, they're fully structured. There's no ruin to them or anything. So give us a little spiel about that. What's going on? Like, there's still elves living here.
Yeah, so the center of the city, if we're getting towards it now, actually, there are still elves living here, yeah, and it kind of, the way that I explained it to the project leader is, the way to think about it is, it's kind of a village within a city, if that makes any sense. So the village within Forlond which is what we've just walked into now, is still inhabited. It's still in use, but it's surrounded by ruins, basically.
I love this architecture. I love these the tower right there. What would this obelisk in the middle of the street be called? I mean, I know it's very classical inspired. There's some kind of specific meaning for that. It's like a monument for victory in a war or something.
It could well be, yeah. I mean, there was the war that pretty much all of the elves here would have fought in, at least the male elves probably. Yeah, so there's that. And there is actually a victory arch just that way, which was definitely, I remember, being designed for that.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going that direction then. Oh, look at that. I can already see it. That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is where the elven legions would march through as a basically a victory march to proclaim their victory of some ancient battle of some sort.
You can imagine that, yeah, definitely, for sure. It's nice. And then this here, this is one of my favorite parts of Forlond. So each of the statues here, as you walk around, it's all kind of ruined. If you go this way, yeah, this kind of end. The statues are all the representative of the different Valar, the gods of Middle-earth. So you have all the different ones represented.
Oh, you even have an elf with an axe.
Yeah, well, he's not an elf. He's yeah, one of the gods.
Oh god, okay, gotcha. Wow, this is really cool. I like the diversity of designs for the statues. It really stands out to me.
Yeah, they were. I couldn't tell you which ones are which, to be honest, but they were designed with their sort of characteristics in mind.
Yeah, I've always found statues to be a something that I find very difficult to construct for myself. So yeah, kudos.
You were asking about significant buildings. This one over here is really cool. This is the bathhouse, which is still in use. It's really nice interior.
What shenanigans go on in here? Oh, nice. I love it. This design is very, very nice. You can hardly see the water blocks through the mist, though. At least for my shader, I guess, is what the problem is.
Yeah, without shaders, it's pretty much fine. But yeah. And of course, with our obsession with realism, we have, of course, built an entire heating system underneath as well. So
gotta see that.
It's yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to figure out where.
How do we get
where you get down to it?
Yeah, I imagine it wouldn't be accessible from inside the bathhouse. Probably outside somewhere.
No, it's here actually. It's this corner.
I'm coming.
If you left from the front door.
Left from the front door. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, to the left we go, and down into the dungeons. Okay, so we got a water pump.
It's through here, I think. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, this is nice. This is how you get a nice steamy bath up there above.
Exactly, yeah.
Each system would be separate from the other then, correct? Like this one would be for a smaller bath?
This is a sauna here, actually.
A sauna. Gotcha, okay. Ah, very cool.
Yeah, so that kind of classical inspiration, you know, having a bathhouse and everything sort of being pillars and white and stuff. So it does kind of feel Romanesque in this sort of weird fantasy way, I guess.
Yeah. I love the ceiling. That's so bright. Very nice.
Yeah, the blue is nice.
Alrighty, what's next? I will follow you.
Let's go down to the docks, and then we'll head to the palace.
Okay. I like the diversity of the streets. It you know, it has its own unique kind of. Well, obviously, it does, but between Mithlond and Harlond, Mithlond definitely had a particular interest to me, but it seems like the style here, you know, it has its own unique air in the streets and everything. Everything, the atmosphere just really stands out. Again, it's really unique. Like it's like you have the same kind of style between the three in a very very faint way, but in terms of Forlond, it just really stands out as the pinnacle of architecture. It seems like it's the most rich and highest of the three cities. Is that correct?
That's absolutely what we were going for. Yeah. Because the Noldor were always like that. I mean, they had a city in the first age called Gondolin. In fact, the most recent book they've just announced is going to be released called The Fall of Gondolin, which is a standalone book about the fall of the city in the first age. And that was built by the elves, the same elves who built this place. So yeah, they were known to be very, very good architects. And they made very impressive cities.
Such an overgrown dock. Wow.
Yeah, well, not very well used at all. I mean, this ship being here is, I think quite odd. This one probably would normally be docked in Mython, so they might be making a stop here for some reason.
Gotcha. I'm just taking a quick look inside the bows real fast here. I love how smooth the decks are. Like, it just all kind of flows together. Is there anything underneath this deck? Oh, there is. Cool. I gotta see that.
I think so, yeah.
So it's pretty much a cargo ship.
It seems like, yeah, so potentially they're dropping stuff off that was made in, manufactured in Mythland, and maybe they're bringing stuff here from the main city. So yeah, could be.
Very, very cool. All right, moving on. Nice crane there. All right.
Let's head up to the palace, because that's the main feature of Forlond. It kind of, in all the screenshots and everything, it kind of dominates the horizon, as you can tell. It's huge structures.
That's pretty much all three cities. I mean, the palaces of all three cities, again, are very unique from each other. This more resembles Mythlon, the Mythlon's palace, because of the taller spires and everything. Of course, this one looks a little more.
Yeah, well, it was the same king in Mython as it was here, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, that definitely.
This was his main palace. Mython was kind of his, summer retreat or something. I don't know. Gotcha. But he had palaces in both places.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. I love this path on the way up. Is this one of the only paths? Is there like maybe another one somewhere else?
I think there was once one, yeah, before it was kind of ruined. So this is the main path up now that they still use. And the reason they use it, I'll show you in a bit. There is a reason they still come up here.
How come this palace is ruined and, say, not Mythlon's palace is ruined?
Well, basically, the reason that Mython's palace isn't ruined, but it's basically empty, is we decided that the elves in Mython were still kind of numerous enough that they could maintain it. Whereas the ones here, you only have 10% of the population left, and so they wouldn't really have the ability to kind of keep it up.
I gotcha.
So they would let it fall into ruin. If you come over here, this is the reason that they keep it. They keep coming up here, though. So we decided that this place, this sort of room here, this would have once been the feast hall. You can see it's lost its roof a long while ago, but they would still come up here and have like ceremonies and have feasts and stuff. When it was certain times of the year. It's collapsed. Yeah, that's the old kitchen down there.
Oh, really? I guess there's really not much anything left in there, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all flooded. Nice. I like that. Is that supposed to be full of water in here, like even when it was built, or is this kind of?
No. This would have been these are old fireplaces and stuff in the walls.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it would have all been.
Very cool. Love it. All right, where to?
Let's make our way down here a little bit towards the gardens. Talking about statues, there's a really nice one here, and this is of the sea god Ulmo, which I really like.
I can hardly see it with the shader I'm looking at. It's so bright.
Yeah. So white, yeah.
See the back of it, but yeah, this is really, really cool. I love it. You see the silhouette of it. So is this what is this again? What is this representative?
This the sea god Ulmo, he was called.
Elmo?
Ulmo, U-L, yeah, not Elmo, yeah, no.
I was gonna say. Okay. But yeah, that's really cool. Love that.
He was liked by the elves quite a lot because he actually some of the Valar were a bit less helpful in the wars, but he was quite hands-on.
Yeah.
And obviously they worship him.
Wow,
yeah.
With this shader, this view right here. Woohoo! That's great. All right, I gotta turn up the view distance here. I gotta see more. Oh, I can't even see more. Oh, there we go.
See more ocean. There's a ship right over there to the east.
I
don't think you can see it.
Let me see more. I literally can't see view distance beyond, it looks like 12 or something. Is there a server? Is there a...
there should be 16 on the server.
16, okay. Okay, you said you can see a ship.
I can stand here and see a ship, yeah, off to the east. Maybe the shield shader is... I don't know.
Weird. Okay, let me just kind of go off this way. And go up this way a little bit.
Yeah, you're getting close to it.
Hey, there we go. There's the ship. All right, so now let's get back here and see if I can see it from our little vantage point. Yeah, there we go. I think it was reason because I just turned it up to far. No, I still can't really see it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Nah, whatever. Anyway,
it's still a nice view.
I can just imagine just seeing the sea just sprawling out into the horizon.
And this place here, actually, I don't know if you remember in the Hobbit films, they have like the White Council meeting.
Trying to find you.
Well, I'm right behind you.
You're right behind
me. I'm here. Oh, I may need to Maybe to go to plots and come back. Hang on, because we have the problem at the moment with.
So this hall that we're in. Right
yeah,
now.
the thing you're in. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was a scene in the Hobbit film where in Rivendell, the White Council meet in Rivendell and they, have a discussion or whatever, and that wasn't lore. Like that building was not supposed to be there. But we really liked the design of it, so we just took that design and then built it in Forlond, and it actually worked out kind of well.
I love it. Beautiful. I'm in the right place, right?
I've teleported back to you now. Do you see me now?
Oh, there you go. Okay, I see you, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, so it's a nice design.
So what's this tower over here? I'm just going to go ahead and climb the stairs really quick.
This is a lighthouse, in fact, yeah. So this is the only bit of the palace that's still kept up, because obviously, a lighthouse is a functional building kind of thing. We still need it.
I'm just going to climb up here to the top and see what I can see. Probably not much else than what I've already seen, but still. It's just nice to be at the tallest peak of a city, looking out over the ocean. Very nice. Love it. Love it to bits. Is there a way to get out of here from up here? No.
I don't think you could fit through the crack.
Okay,
now.
back down. Let's just
There we go.
fall again. I've always loved this this type of style, the Elvish style, and the different variations of it. Just really has these really elegant influences, of course.
Yes, and we were definitely come up here actually. This little path, yeah, up here. This is cool. We were quite flattered when there was the Elven contest on Darwin, and the two styles were basically Mythond and Harland.
Right.
That was quite flattering.
Well, they're definitely great styles and great cities to take inspiration from. Oh, what is this?
This is the old throne room, so this is where the king would have.
Would it have been like the Mythland throne room, and the throne would have been up higher, or would this have been one big room?
I think one big room actually. I think was what we intended. Yeah, so obviously it's all filled in now, and nature's retaking it all.
Wow, this would have been quite the epic chamber here, I must say. Very, very cool. Just all the rubble and everything has just kind of reclaimed the structure into the earth.
Falling apart. Let's do a little jump here. For office.
Okay, do a little jump. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, just broke a leg.
We'll make our way through the forest. So a lot of the city now has been overtaken by woodlands. Oh, there's just a player here, which ignore him, go around him. Yeah, the whole city's been retaken by woodlands. So, but let's head towards the old university, kind of center of learning. Anyway, we called it a university as a shorthand. Obviously, that's maybe a bit of a bad name for it, but it certainly would have been at one time a center of learning for the elves. And now it's all collapsed. We were thinking for a while, actually, that we would keep it kind of unruined, and that was the plan for quite a while. And then towards the end, we realized that it would look better.
I remember one of the first times I'd come through here, there was a university and there was classrooms in it. Is this the building I was thinking?
Yeah, this is what it was, yeah.
Okay. Oh, well.
Hasn't done so well.
Everything kind of dies over time, I suppose. But yeah.
That's it.
Oh wow!
Still a really nice area. Of
I remember this was you. See, the thing is with the building process with this, guys, this was actually fully built as far as when I had been here when they first started Forlond, and then they've come back through, pretty much ruined it and made it look like ruins and added in all the foliation and everything to make it look overgrown. And it's just a really neat method how you guys went about creating these ruins here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't always do that for ruins. Typically, the average ruin on this server is going to be so ruined that there's no point building the original building. But if it's like mostly intact, like this one is, then that's what we'll tend to do, and it works quite well. So yeah, no, it's just a good little area. I'm quite a fan of it. And you can see the end of the old walls here as well, where they used to jut out into the ocean.
Is there any example of what the old walls would have looked like? I remember you guys had built the whole walls around the city, and then now you've pretty much destroyed them. And that's crazy.
No, we've leveled them. No, there isn't really any example left of them. I mean, that was the thing. Like, there was a builder who built all of them. They were really nice looking and everything, and we were thinking of keeping them. But then we kind of realized that actually that wouldn't really make any sense. So we we leveled them.
Did that builder
mostly.
quit?
No, that was Guan. I'm sure you know him.
Guan. Oh, my
yeah, it was Guan.
I'm sorry, Guan. Oh man.
Yeah, so rest in peace, those walls.
This is just awesome. I love these. I noticed particularly the entrance into the city. It had a very recognizable kill box. I really liked that idea. It had 2 massive gates. Is there other?
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, there's a few others actually. I'm glad that you recognize that though, because that's definitely what we were going for with the design. I mean, when we originally built those walls, they were like properly set up to be really defensive, and the reason for that was that the Noldor again just tends to be the most warlike and the most like military-minded of the elves. So
yeah,
we set this city up quite defensively.
So was that the only gate then?
No, there's a couple of others. There's one. I think there was one we're coming towards now. Quite soon.
I love these ruins right here. You can tell these are some of the oldest ruins in the city. You see the progression from the outside to the inside. Like you see, there's really no marble here, maybe just 1 or 2 pillars, and then you see a little bit of marble here, and it slowly progresses into stronger foundations, and then you have taller kind of stone ends, and then it transits even more quite into the more of the village like built architecture and such. And it just, I love that transition. I love the style that you guys have done here.
That was the plan. So when we planned all the city out, we actually used different wool colors. So this is the other gate, by the way.
Oh, this is great. I love this. See, this is actually something I've really I've seen a picture of not too long ago, of a Roman fort where instead of the gate going straight into the city, it's kind of like what do you call it, perpendicular or parallel?
Yeah.
Parallel with the walls like this. So you got to walk into this kind of like kill box, and it's like even, twice as hard to get through because it's all of these lines of defenses shooting down. Anyways, just really liked this idea here. Yeah,
so it's cool. And you were saying about the transition. So when we planned out the city, we actually used different wool colors to represent the different levels of ruining. So from, I can't remember what the colors were, but it meant that when we built it all out, it was a really nice transition, and it kind of flows quite smoothly.
Yeah.
But as always, if we go just northeast of where you are now,
I see someone flying around. Is that
no,
you?
That's not me. No, that's
not you. Okay.
I'm here. Fly towards you.
Fly towards me. Okay, I see you. All right, yeah. I will follow you now.
So if we go this way, towards the farms, as we always have farms on here, we are always obsessed with keeping that level of realism. So below us here, you can see that there are birchwoods, and these birchwoods are coppiced, and it's just something we've started doing more recently. So what they'll do with coppicing is they will cut the tree, and then it will sort of grow out into different shoots. And you see this a lot of the time in some older forests where trees have been just left to grow like that for ages and ages and ages. And what it means is that the tree doesn't die, but it continues to kind of produce firewood and stuff over time. And so you get this effect of these trees with multiple stems coming out from the ground.
This is so cool. Wow.
Yeah. So that's how they get firewood in medieval settlements.
See, I'm learning things here. Coppicing, I did not know that, but that's a really logical method to get some more firewood for sure.
Yeah, because it means that you don't have to clear felled forest. You don't have to destroy the forest. You just have to maintain it, and it's something we've been doing a lot more in settlements recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving towards that, which is cool. And then this is presumably the lumber yard. This is where they process all the wood if they're turning it to.
Where's the big saw? I guess there's no big saw in here.
No, I don't think so.
A little more industrial than what we're used to.
Over the top.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so no, if we just fly over the farms, we've got the 3-field system going as always. Got meadows, got barley, wheat, vegetable plots closer to the city. And yeah, this is a threshing floor here that you've just flown over. This circular thing here. And so what they will do with that is a lot of the time they will walk farm animals around in circles, right? And this is over the recently harvested wheat. And you know that expression, separate the wheat from the chaff?
Yes.
That's how they did that. So they're separating the grain from the kind of the husks. And what they'll do is they'll stick forks into it, like those big pitchforks, and they'll throw it up in the air after they've stamped on it. And what that will do is the little grains will fall to the ground, and the actual stalks and stuff and all the chaff will be blown away by the wind. So typically you'll have these on sort of an elevated location where wind can, go over it.
So you definitely would want a windy day to
do it. Yeah, 100%.
And would there be any kind of contraption on the back end of these animals?
Not really. No, it was literally just the hooves. Believe it or not, and you could actually do it by, well, not by hand, by foot, by human foot.
I would hate to have some cow pie grain, if you know what I mean. But anyway.
And so that's something that a lot of settlements I've noticed missed out on Minecraft a lot of the time, is that they will just have the mill, but actually you need that step. You need that step first to be threshed before you put it in the mill. Yeah. So
that's a really good point. And again, something I've learned today: coppicing, threshing floor, granary, of course, is something we all know.
Yeah, I got a granary here. Yeah. So it's all part of the process. And what's good about it is, people think, oh, all this realism stuff's really boring, but actually, what it does is it makes your settlements a lot more in depth, and it allows you to add interesting structures that most people won't build. So
yeah, and say like realistic doesn't have to be like the boring old whatever what's done in medieval times. I mean, it can be like even this windmill. It's adapted for the elven style, etc. It doesn't look realistic, but it is realistic. Like it has that what do you call it? That the mechanism to make this whole system of getting harvested grain into a edible form, and that's what's something that we all need to definitely keep in the back of our minds when we are constructing our own builds and such.
Sure, yeah. Even though the city, only has 10% of its population, the farm size is also still pretty big, because you do need quite a pretty big something. And again, another point on farms is that a lot of the time I'll see people build like a big city or a big town or whatever in Minecraft, and then they'll put like a couple of wheat fields next to it, and that'll be it. It's like, well, actually, your farms need to be at least 3 or 4 times the size of your actual settlement to make them work. So that's what we try to go for on here. And then we have you're going past an orchard on your left, and then there's some I think these are grapes, actually. These are, so they're making wine as well. All sorts of stuff, all sorts of interesting stuff. And then vegetable fields. So typically vegetables will be grown closer to the settlement itself, if not in back gardens, just because they can remain fresher, whereas grain and stuff can be made or can be grown farther away, because that keeps for longer. And then animals tend to be the furthest away from the settlement, because they can be you'd have animal droving, so they can actually bring the animals into the town itself to be slaughtered.
This bridge is really quite interesting to me. It's not directly diagonal.
No, it's not. It slopes down as well. I think it's not quite as impressive as the one in Harlond. The Harlond bridge.
No, but this is impressive. I mean, I'm still that's pretty cool. So this definitely achieves its goal of being something unique again. It's just really well done.
And if you follow that road, that would take you all the way to Mithlond, about 3,000 blocks away from here. So.
And if you guys want to see Mithlond, reference the video down below in the description. All right. Really good stuff over there as well. Same thing with Harlond and whatever else. There's so much stuff on this server. Oh, crazy. By the way, Fornad, goodness. If you would be so kind as to tell the viewers how can they join this incredible community here. Absolutely.
So all you need to do is download Conquest Reforged or download our own launcher. Either one works fine. And then what you can do from there is go to our website, ardacraft.me. That has all the links there. Has everything that explained there. We have a frequently asked questions section. We have a forums. And you can join the server at mc.ardacraft.me. It should be, and it is actually, on the Conquest Reforged default servers list. If you click just right on that multiplayer menu, you'll find us there. And you can look around and ask questions and everything, and then you can eventually join our build team through applying if you want to. Always need new builders. Always, always, always. So, yeah.
And for those of you that want to see specific locations across Middle-earth, or Ardacraft, should I say, they have a Dine map with a feature that allows you to open up all the different warps that are available so far. Just go ahead and just find one of those warps, go in game, warp to that location, have a look around. It's just an incredible experience to be able to actually explore through the realms of Middle-earth and see all these things brought to life through Minecraft. It's one thing to see it on a show, it's one thing to read it in a book, but to actually be able to walk through the immersive creations created by these incredible people on this team, it definitely makes a difference. So I would suggest any of you that are interested in having some fun, getting away from the stresses of life for a little while, come on over. Ardacraft is definitely worth your time. So I think that's about it. Anything else you got to say there, Fornad?
No. Are we going to move on to a new location, or what do you think?
Let's do that another stream.
Oh, sure.
We'll just go ahead and keep this down for this stream here, and then, like I said, we'll conceptualize it and such. But yeah.
Brilliant. No, that works fine. Fantastic.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next time. Till then, bye-bye. So cut there. That's the video. So now we're going to be doing just a little walk around, kind of unprofessional, whatever.
Okay. Brilliant. Yeah.
Is there anything you want to show particular, just to have fun? Maybe let's go see Helm's Deep. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
By the way, guys, Helm's Deep. Why don't you tell them about the build day that's coming up here in a few hours?
Yeah, only in a few hours now. So in about 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours, I think, we are starting and building on Helm's Deep. People have already started just now. Helm's Deep, of course, being the most one of the most famous fortresses in Middle Earth. I mean, it's up there. It's Helm's Deep, Minas Tirith. You guys, anyone who has seen the films will remember this place. Isengard, yeah, will remember this place very well. Again, as is our way, we are. I'm just seeing all the stuff they've been doing today already. As is our way, we are building it from the books and not from the film. The design from the film was quite different to this one. I'm sure you probably have realized. So yeah, no, we are building it all today. It's all planned out. We're going to get together in teams, and we're going to just be smashing that out today. It's going to be very exciting, I think.
Oh, this is beautiful. I love the causeway leading up. See, I love your you always go diagonal. Like, you never go straight. You never go any kind of I love the foundation blocks. You always go straight, and or not straight, goodness, diagonal or curved or just some kind of off the books kind of way, and it just really again brings that kind of unique twist to Ardacraft as a major inspiration for builders. And
yeah, there's not much symmetry in the whole fortress, actually. If you just look around it, there isn't that much symmetry going on at all, and I think that really adds a lot to the build. It makes it, as you say, very unique, makes it feel very interesting. And yeah, no, and it's the first time, actually, believe it or not, this is really the first time we are building a proper fortress, like not the one that's like ruined, because we've built about 500 ruined fortresses, it feels like. This is the first one we're building where it's actually in use still. Which is very exciting. So we can build all these interesting defensive mechanisms that we just haven't been able to include yet. So
do any of you viewers, do you guys have any questions or anything you want to see in particular, or anything you want to ask Fornad and I? This is that kind of part of the stream where I'll be more interactive with you all. We're trying to do a kind of video style for the first part of the stream, but for this style, it's just more of a walk around, informal, have fun, and if you guys want to see anything, let us know, because there's a lot of other stuff to see for sure. But yeah, I like the Rohan style, actually. This really well done here. It's more of a Norse style, of course.
Of course, yeah, Norse, Anglo-Saxon, Dark Ages, medieval. Yeah, it's very, very historically based, this style, for sure.
Anything built for the dwarves? The nose asks.
A whole load, yeah.
Yes, there's a lot.
Yeah, we have 11 dwarven mines in the Blue Mountains, some of which are inhabited, some of which are ruined. We can check out Thorin's Halls, actually. That's another currently in progress project. We can go and have a look at that.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to load up the AC overlay. I was noticing I didn't have that on.
Oh yeah, no, the paintings for sure, they're needed.
Okay, so now I'm gonna TP to you. Have you gone to somewhere that we can check out?
No, I haven't. No. What version of the AC overlay do you have?
An older version. I don't think it really matters though for right now. We'll take care of that next stream. But yeah, if you can go find a nice little dwarven location, I'll teleport you. Yeah, of course I'm not gonna say the Rohan pictures. Ooh, stave planks. That's how stave planks are used. Huh. Cool.
Yeah, one of these blocks you never knew how to.
Like I just didn't see it. I didn't see the usefulness in it, but now that I see it in this structure, that kind of makes sense. All right.
Okay, on to Thorn's Halls.
Oh, look at this. All right.
So with shaders, this may be a bit, a little bit dark.
To a shader pack that I know will work a little bit better with this if I can find it. There's two options I have. Yeah, I think this one will be all right. Can you guys see all right here? I think you could or should be able to see pretty well. Anyways.
Yeah, so this is all in progress. A hall which is currently being built. That's why we have all the signs. Project blocks up and stuff. But again, as you were saying, we never built straight. And there's another diagonal hall, which is, I tell you, is an absolute bastard to try and get right.
I'm sure.
It's really tough, yeah. And there's a street leading down here. I don't know these halls very well at all, I have to say. So we may get lost.
I'm trying to find a shader pack that you guys can all see, but doesn't seem you're going to be able to see one way or the other in a Dwarven Hall. I changed to a shader that it's like the lightest shader I have, so I mean, it's either this is going to work or it's not going to. Even internal shaders, yeah. I'm not sure, or internal, should I say. No shaders. I don't even think that works as well.
Yeah, you could do no shaders and then brightness to full.
That's true.
Would be probably the best way of doing it.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just no shaders. That's the way we're gonna do. And full bright. Okay. Can you guys see now?
Awesome.
Kind of dark. Hey there, Applemore. How you doing?
So yeah, lots of sign blocks still up in here, but all of these buildings will have professions and different things. They all have interiors, of course. I'm not sure what this one is. I think it's maybe. Let me see. I'll have a look and then we'll see. Oh no, this is the bathhouse. Yeah, okay.
Bathhouse.
This is the bathhouse. Yeah, the one at the end that you walked in.
One at the end. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right, let's go see what this is.
So we seem to have a bit of a theme of bathhouses this stream, but
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Got to get clean somehow.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely looks better without shaders, especially with the fog and everything. It doesn't. What do you call it? Like the fog makes the water disappear, like invisible almost, so it makes this like kind of spotty look, but without shaders, obviously, no problem. Hey, no sir, how you doing, man? Great to see you. He would love to see the visit, the main entry / hall.
Oh, the main hall.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just zip to that quickly, and I'll teleport you because finding our way through these halls would not be a good idea. We'd be here for another hour, just like wandering about. Honestly, every dwarven hall.
We've been here before. No, let's go to that one. We've been here before too. Yep, that's pretty much Thorn's halls, or any underground, any dwarven halls. That's kind of the thing. I'm just kind of flying around. Just teleport me whenever you're ready. Hey, look at that. Okay.
Done.
So let's
this
go
is
outside.
The main, biggest hall we have, yeah. And this is the entrance currently.
And here we are. Thorn's halls. Big old drawbridge starting out.
Yeah, it's actually it's got 4
bridge.
connection points, so it actually lift up. Yeah. So and then below it you got a load of spikes. Of course.
Don't want to fall into that. So what stops the enemy from just getting a bridge and throwing it over from that end to this end?
Well, I mean, I suppose what stops any enemy from throwing over any bridge, because at the end you've got this portcullis as well, so it's kind of a dual system and a big gate. Yeah, so it's enough.
Yeah, and the walls, they have all kinds of arrow slits, I'm sure.
And they do, yeah. Yeah, it's not finished yet, but they do have arrow slits in the walls. Yeah, so even if they were trying to throw in a bridge over, they would be peppered. And it's good enough, to be honest. I mean, Thorn's Halls was never under any major threat of attack anyway, being this far west. So
yeah,
it's kind of the defenses were never used, really.
So Thorn lived here. How come he couldn't just settle with Thorn's Halls and had to go back to Erebor? You know, were they poor here in some regard?
They were actually, yeah. Before, but they really only have iron and maybe a few gemstones to mine here, but not much. Certainly no silver or gold. So they didn't have much in the way of resources here, and even though these halls look very impressive, they have been largely expanded since the days of the Hobbit, with wealth flowing back from Erebor. So yeah, they have been greatly improved. And when Thorin talks about them in the Hobbit, or there's some, or maybe it's in the end of Lord of the Rings, they're talking about a story of when Thorin was still alive, and he called them poor lodgings in exile. That's how he referred to them. So he always felt himself to be like an exiled man.
Wow. Yeah, they definitely poor to me. But yeah, so
compared to Erebor, yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Well, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the stream with that. I got to get going myself, but hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Fornad, for being such an awesome host. And we'll see you next time. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for stopping by.